Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to share with you a few things that I have found either interesting during this pregnancy or perhaps even surprising. There are some things that I knew to expect, when getting pregnant, and I'm actually surprised by some of the things that I'm experiencing that no one has ever talked about. So let's get into those right now. The first thing is I thought that when the day came that I became pregnant, I would just be a totally chilled, relaxed, easygoing kind of person. And the truth is I do worry a lot more than I wanted to. I think because it took us 4 years just about to conceive, it kind of puts me in a position where I want everything to be good. We didn't just fall into this position. We worked hard to get here. So with that being said, I do worry a lot more than I wanted to. And I worry about, making sure that the baby's okay. If Josh is running late, I'm like, gosh, is he okay? So I do tend to worry a little bit more than I intended to. The next thing is I actually feel like I can do anything in my second trimester, and I almost forget that I'm pregnant. So it's not like I literally am like, oh, I didn't know I was pregnant and I'm drinking wine. It's not like that. I will forget that my belly is the size that it is, and I bump into things. I'm like, oh, that's right, there's a belly there. And I feel like I can do anything in the sense that, when I was hiking, there was a cave, and I was like, I want to climb into that cave. I want to explore it. I want to, people were talking about zip lining. I'm like, I want to go zip lining. People were talking about going snowboarding, and I'm like, oh yeah, I love snowboarding. And it's like, oh, hold on. You can't just do everything. But because I feel so good, I feel so strong, I feel so healthy, I need to be reminded that yes, you are strong, Michelle. Yes, you are healthy. And you are pregnant. So anything that poses a big risk, we need to remember not to do that. Next thing on my handy dandy list here is that things are more sensitive. For example, my skin is way more sensitive. I already had sensitive skin, but it's even more sensitive now. And my eyes are more sensitive. So I'm not someone who normally goes out in the sun with sunglasses. I don't really feel the need to, but lately it's like, oh, shoot, I left my sunglasses in the house. I need to go and grab them. So I've noticed my eyes are a lot more sensitive than they were before. And if you don't want TMI, you might not want to watch the next thing I'm going to say. But there's actually been changes in the area of the vajayjay. I feel like my skin is different. I feel like sensitivity is different. Yeah, didn't expect that one. My belly gets so much bigger at night than it is during the morning. So I don't know if that's just a food belly at the end of the day, or if the baby stretches out more at the end of the day. Not quite sure why, but if I took a picture in the morning of my belly and then at night of my belly, you would think that I was like several months further than I was in the morning picture. So that's a little bit interesting. I can still suck in my stomach a little bit, which is weird. Who knew? Not that you need to. Why would you? But it's funny that it's like still an option at this point. It is hard to tell, speaking of my belly, it's hard to tell what movements I'm feeling at this point are digestion or gas, or is that the baby? And everyone says like, oh no, when it's the baby, you'll know. So I'm waiting for that. I'm sure it'll happen. I'm excited for when that happens. But I can tell you that in the meantime, there are moments where I'm like, wait, was that the baby? Or was that not the baby? So that's still happening. Another TMI, my nipples really haven't changed that much. I was expecting them to get like darker and bigger, and so far they haven't changed that much. Now they still could, of course, still change, but up until this point of the pregnancy, that hasn't changed much. But what has changed a lot is my boobs are bigger, like towards my armpits. So that's really interesting. It's like, I feel like they're in my armpits. Like, can you move, please? My hair and my nails have definitely proven the pregnancy, whatever stories that they say about how your hair is great during pregnancy and your nails grow. That is for sure the truth. The downside of that is that I have a hairy belly, which I've talked about in another video. And I don't know if that's because I'm having a boy or just because I'm pregnant. I don't know. So tell me if you guys got a hairy belly. Were you having a boy, or is it just a pregnancy thing? The next one I'm actually really proud of. So I was always concerned that my self-esteem would be, you know, I don't know, not so good during pregnancy. I was afraid that I would feel fat and ugly, and I think it's in huge part to my husband. You know, anytime I complain about something, or even not just complain, but acknowledge, like, gosh, my arms feel flabbier, or I feel like I have more dimples on my thighs. He's like, you know what, sweetie, your body is doing exactly what it needs to do so that you can have a healthy baby, and that you have enough body fat on you that you can breastfeed after the baby's born. And he's like, isn't that awesome that you're pregnant? And it's so good to keep that perspective. It's like, I am so grateful for what my body is doing that I'm actually like, dang, you go, uterus. Like, I find myself so proud of the fact that my body is creating this miracle human being that nothing else matters. And I just think everything is absolutely beautiful. Like, I've noticed my belly button is just like pulled open a lot more. And I'm like, wow, that's so beautiful that my belly button can open like that. And I noticed the lower part of my stomach is like kind of drooped a little bit. I'm like, wow, how cool that part's holding the baby right now. So I view it differently than I thought I would. I guess I was concerned that I would look at myself just physically and compare myself to other women. And I just really don't do that the way that I thought I would. So yay for good self-esteem. Another one that's kind of cool is the instinct to protect my belly. So I saw a dog running loose, and my instinct was I put my hand on my stomach, just like, oh, I'm protecting this area. And then someone swung a door open. It was like a gate, and when they swung it open, I put my hand right in front of my belly. So it's like, instead of like covering your face like maybe you would have done before being pregnant, everything is like protect my belly. My nieces came running to see me. They were super excited, and I instantly got into this position where my knees were like covering my stomach while I was sitting down. So there's that instinct that you don't even necessarily think about. You just react in a way where you're like, I have to protect the offspring. Josh hates when I call our baby our offspring. That's why I do it, because I like getting on his nerves. That's marriage, right? Okay, next one is, you know how you watch these movies and people, like, they'll show the pregnant woman cries out of nowhere? That's real. I was already somebody who did tend to be a bit emotional anyways. Like, if I saw a homeless person with a dog, I would feel sad about that, and maybe I would get some tears. Or if I saw a story where a dad comes home from the military and surprises his children and they run up to him, I would cry at those things even when I wasn't pregnant. But now, something as simple as I saw a Santa Claus doing sign language to communicate with a little girl on his lap, and that just like tears right there. I heard a song that just touched my soul, and I think all of the tears come back down to just being so happy. I'm so grateful to be pregnant. I'm so happy that we're gonna have our own little family. I'm so happy with the husband I have and the life that I have. And I'm just really feeling like the happy tears with that. I mentioned that I'm protective over my belly, like it's an instinct. I'm also very protective over my energy, which probably sounds very woo-woo, and it maybe is. But I'm also very protective over the people that, like, I don't want negative people around me. So the other day I got in a car with somebody and they were like complaining to me about things. And I just flipped the conversation, like, isn't it wonderful that these are the things that we have to complain about? That traffic has been worse. Isn't it wonderful that we have a car, that, you know, or that you have a car and I have a car or whatever. And so I think it's important that I am marinating this baby inside of me with positivity. And I'm not going to go throughout the day and just harp on anything that's going wrong, because there's a lot to be grateful for. And I want this baby to be marinating in nothing but positive energy. And so the people that I allow to be around me have to kind of be that way as well. If they're just constantly, you know, complaining and depressed and down, it doesn't mean I don't love them and I don't care, and I won't try to still help them in ways that I can, but I'm not going to allow myself to be brought down. Not for me, not for my baby. Another interesting thing that no one ever told me this is sneezing is like a normal pregnancy thing. A lot of people sneeze a lot during their pregnancy, but I've never heard of that before. And I do this double sneeze thing that makes my husband laugh, where I'll go like, achoo, achoo. And he's like, you're not even done with the first sneeze before you're doing your second sneeze. And it's true. I don't know what the deal is with like the excessive sneezing, but I do know that we have a lot more fluids in our body, and that it sometimes, you know, adds a lot more either congestion in the nasal passageway and sinuses. Either way, I don't have any complaints about it. I think it's kind of funny that I just have to sneeze a lot more. And I also didn't know that cramps were so common during pregnancy. I really thought like during pregnancy, you had 9 months of no cramps. You know, you're not going to get your period, so you're not going to have cramps. But that's not true. Your uterus is expanding in size to support the growth and weight of your baby. And that expansion can sometimes feel like a pulling or a tearing. And for me, it feels like period cramps. My body temperature is warmer than normal. I used to be the kind of person that was always cold, and now I find that I'm mostly warm. So the other day I asked my husband, like, do you want to open up windows? It's so hot. And he looked at me, and he's always hot, and he was like, I'm perfectly comfortable right now. I'm so surprised that you're hot. So that's kind of interesting. Here's one tip for those of you who are watching this that are not pregnant. Don't do this next thing, because I can't believe how many times I've experienced this, and I want to smack people in the face. Okay, I'm not a violent person, but I really want people to like stop this. For some reason, when you tell people you're pregnant or they see your belly, they feel the need to tell you a horror story. Like, shut up. I don't need to know about how horrible your labor was. I don't need to know that your sister's neighbor's friend had a miscarriage at the same amount of whatever weeks as I am in my pregnancy. I don't need to know that. And actually, shame on people who do that, because it doesn't help to plant seeds of fear into people's minds on any topic, let alone pregnancy. Okay, I will get off my soapbox now, but that one drives me crazy. I am someone who tends to like my personal space, and I like affection, but I like it from people, well, just mostly my husband, really. And I just am shocked at how much I love belly rubs. I just love when my friends are like, I haven't seen you forever, and they just want to rub my belly. I'm just like, yes. I turn into like a puppy or something like that wants their belly rubbed. I'm like, yes, rub my belly. And I think it's because for me, it feels like we're giving my son, our son, love directly right then and there. And I want him to feel as much love as he can feel, and I want him to be as loved as he can be. And I know he will be. So it's a cool feeling when people you know and love rub your belly. I haven't had any strangers ask me if they can rub my belly yet, so we'll, you know, stay tuned for that one. Crazy dreams. I didn't know crazy dreams are a thing with pregnancy, but let me just tell you, there have been so many weird dreams that I've had. One of these weird dreams, by the way, like they put babies in these like tubes, and the babies had to go out of the tubes, and then you got your baby connected to you based on which tube came to you. And my baby didn't come out of my tube, and there was no baby there, and I just kept feeling like scared and worried that there was no baby there. And then my husband drove off in a motorcycle. My husband doesn't even own or drive motorcycles, and he didn't care, and I was so mad that he didn't care, and I was so sad that my baby wasn't there. I don't even know why I dreamt that. There's nothing about that. My husband is the most caring person, doesn't own a motorcycle, and babies don't come out of tubes. So it was very strange. I know dreams have meanings, but some of my dreams have been really weird. Next one is back fat. I was really surprised at how fat my back got, how quickly. I know people see it, they're like, Michelle, it's not even really that fat. It's like you just have a little bit of extra. Or some people will say it looks fine. I think they're lying. And I do have back fat, like where my bra is, I have back fat there that is not attractive, but I don't care because I'm pregnant and I'm healthy. And I do believe that having a little bit of extra pinch to your body, if you will, can be helpful with breastfeeding. You don't want to be too skinny. So yeah, back fat happened a lot quicker than I thought it would in the pregnancy, and I was just kind of like surprised by that. The next one is, I always thought that I'd be that mom that talks to my belly all the time. And I do talk to my belly every single day, but I do more talking with my mind. So for example, I saw people being rude the other day, and in my mind, I said, okay, baby boy, we will not treat people that way. What we just saw is a good example of what we're not going to do. That's unacceptable, and that's not how we treat people. Now, granted, I probably needed to say that in my mind, because if those people heard me, that wouldn't have been good. But I do, one of my favorite things to do is to play music really, really loud, put my hands on my belly, and like dance and sway and like sing to the baby. So I enjoy that. My teeth are really sensitive, and I didn't know that that happened during pregnancy, but my teeth are definitely very sensitive, and I feel a lot of pressure to eat well. And it's not because anyone's putting that pressure on me, it's because I know I'm growing a human being inside of me. So when I sit down to eat, I look at my food and I go, okay, is there a rainbow on my plate today? Or did I eat a rainbow today? So in other words, I'll want to make sure that there's something red like tomatoes, and orange like carrots, and green like lettuce, and blueberries or whatever. I try to make it a really vast amount of colors on my plate every day, and it feels like a little pressure. If I'm gonna go to sleep that night and I'm like, oh, I don't think I ate enough vegetables today, then I'll drink my greens. Matter of fact, I have them right here, because I just want that assurance that like, okay, I got enough vegetables in today. And I'm allergic to sugar, so I have to limit my fruit intake. I still eat fruit. I still eat sugar sometimes, but I just pay the price. And my last little tidbit here is that I'm a lot more concerned about our world than I was before, and I was already somebody who was concerned, but I wasn't someone who would lay there at night and go, gosh, I hope that we don't go to war. I hope that this doesn't happen. I hope that, that these things are rectified sooner than later, or I hope that the world becomes a better place. I used to kind of just go, I'll be fine no matter what happens. I'll exist and thrive. But now that I have a baby coming into this world, I care so much more than I already did about the world that we live in, and how we are treated, and the healthcare that we have, and the ability to make choices that we feel are best for ourselves, and our freedom and our rights. I'm way more concerned about that than I was before, and that is simply because I have a baby boy coming into this world that I want to give the best possible life that he can have. So I'm curious, what are some of the things you learned about yourself, your pregnancy, earlier on your pregnancy, earlier in the first and second trimester, that maybe you didn't expect, it was new to you? I'd love to hear yours. Tell me what you thought of mine. And if you guys have not subscribed to my channel, please do so, because I can't wait to share with you more fun tidbits, including our nursery progress, and you guys can take a look at what we've got going on in there. Take care, guys. Bye.